This is the video for Unit 6, Day 9, Subtracting Mixed Numbers. Before I start this video, I just wanted to let you know that I was holding a pen earlier today and that pen broke, so I got ink all over my fingers, so that's why you'll see all of my blue fingers in this video. Nevertheless, today's video is dedicated to Natalie in 6B. Hello, Natalie. Let's look at our steps here. Step number 1 says subtract the whole numbers. So my whole numbers in this equation, I have 3 1/4 minus 1 4/5. So 3 and 1 are my whole numbers. And I have 3 minus 1. And then the fractions that I have are 1/4. So I'll write out plus 1/4 and minus 4/5 is my other fraction. So 3 minus 1 is 2. And I have 2 plus 1/4 minus 4/5. That's step number 1. Step number 2, convert the fractions so they have a common denominator. Right, so remember, any time that we're adding or subtracting fractions, we want to make sure that the denominators are the same. In this case, the denominator here is 4, and the denominator here is 5. So we're going to have to change these fractions. The way that I like to think of finding the common denominator is I look at the bigger denominator. In this case, this is 5. And I start thinking through what are the multiples of 5. 5 times 1 is 5. Can 4 divide evenly into 5? No. Keep going. 5 times 2 is 10. Can 4 go into 10? No. Next, 5 times 3, 15. Can 4 go into 15? No. Next, 5 times 4 is 20. Can 4 go into 20? Yes. So 20 is going to be my common denominator. So I know that I ultimately want to get it so it's 2 plus something out of 20 minus something out of 20. And I look, 4 times what equals 20? 4 times 5. So if I multiply 4 times 5 to get 20, I also have to multiply 1 times 5 to keep it equal. So that would be 5 out of 20. And then 5 times what gives me 20? 5 times 4 gives me 20. So if I multiply 5 times 4, I also have to multiply the numerator times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. And now I've converted these two fractions so that they have a common denominator. And now I can finish step 2. Step 3 says, subtract the fractions and borrow if necessary. So here's where it can get a little bit tricky, because I want to do 5 out of 20 minus 16 out of 20. However, I can't subtract 16 from 5 because 16 is greater than 5. So what I have to do is I have to borrow from my whole number. I'll borrow 1, so this 2 now becomes a 1. And I'm borrowing 20 20ths. So I'll add, now we're going to go over here. So now I have 1 plus 20 over 20 plus 5 over 20 minus 16 over 20. Okay. So to recap, what I just did is I had 2 wholes, and I needed to add to this fraction here so that it could be greater. So I took 20 20ths, which is equal to 1, out of 2. So it's 1 plus 20 20ths now, instead of 2. This part right here, this is equal to 2. So what I can do now is, I have 1 plus 20 plus 5 is 25, over 20, minus 16 over 20. And I have 1 plus 25 minus 16. Now I can do the subtraction. Is 9 over 20. And my final answer is 1 and 9 20ths. Okay. So, what I want you to do now is try number 1 on your own. Once you're finished, or if you're stuck, you can continue the video after pausing it. So go ahead and try number 1 and pause the video now. Alright, now you're continuing the video after you finish number 1, or if you're stuck. Let's do it together. 2 1/2 minus 1 1/4. So we're going to subtract the whole numbers. 2 minus 1, and then we have the fractions, plus 1/2 minus 1/4 here. And so we get 1, which is 2 minus 1, plus 1/2 minus 1/4. And then from here, I have to figure out what is my common denominator. In this case, my common denominator is 4. So I have 1 plus, I have to multiply 2 times 2 to get to 4. So I'll multiply 2 times 1, the top, minus 1/4 here. And in this case, 2/4 minus 1/4, I can do that, and I don't have to do any borrowing, which does make it a little bit easier. And so I get 1 and 1/4. Because 2/4 minus 1/4 is 1/4, and there's my answer. Now I want you to try problems 2 and 3 on your own. You can go ahead and log out of your computer and put your headphones away and finish page 5.